So let's talk about this real quick. I think it's a great idea that you can pursue further. And by the way, like looking at this, there's really no rendering or issues there, but there's some design stuff I can help with. Well, actually, I think maybe it's just a term in terms of presentation. Like when I zoom out, it's kind of low contrast and gray. And I know you're doing a translucent theme here and there, but if I was to kind of take this information, let's just grab that and then turn it into just a sphere. This top light. It just feels a bit dull with the values that we have here. Now, granted, it works, but for more visual impact on your presentation, whether it's in your portfolio, I click this and I look at it, and it's really low. I would just kick it up and let it just punch the screen. And now when you zoom out, it's like, whoa, okay. And that is a matter of taste, but even something like this, like really push that. And so over here, you can just probably do it by changing the levels, but it's more punchy and like it's more visible to like the first read. Whereas this, it's there, but it's just kind of blended in. Although I was going to say it feels wispy, but that's like one of your words. So yeah, anyway, so moving forward, let's turn those off. Regarding design, so this is a really cool concept, starting with the words and expanding on it, silencing the voice and all that. But the execution is, I think, very close. So we have a really strong shape. And within that shape, you have the mouths. And you have this echo of the cheek bone there going down like this, chin. And I think down here it works really well. But as we go up, I think it could be a little bit better. Because right now it feels like this was really well designed, but the rest was kind of just pasted on, understandably. So what you could do instead, forget the whole concept for now. Actually, let's just put a line there for the mouth or some kind of design element. And then just graphically have the other design elements be more contiguous or continuous with what we have here. So personally, what I would do is look for shapes to kind of feel like they're together. And immediately I'm seeing this. I'm like, oh, okay, well, what if we took that and doubled up on it again like this? And then the other mouth would sit between like right there. And then the other mouth does it again up here. And so that's going to cause specific shadows under each one, creating a pattern. Now, of course, I spaced it evenly. I'd probably change that as well. But that's the idea. Whereas, straight line and there's no information in these areas, it's kind of missing something. So instead, you could do, and it doesn't have to be super sharp, just something that makes it feel all connected rather than pasted on. And the test is to like do a study over it on top of it like this with just line, and then analyze how the shapes are related to each other. I'd probably make this mouth either higher or way low, way higher or way lower, or way bigger. And who knows, maybe this is something you can ideate and explore, and you might find that your original one is probably the one that works best for you. But I would suggest trying this and seeing what you might find. Having said that, one more thing is I like that you have this indication of the sternocleidomastoid muscle of the neck, and it has a nice sort of rhythm of like strips. And I would take that idea and repeat it as well up here, which you're starting to do right there. But what if you took that and let it be a little bit of a border on the edge here? And who knows, maybe it can be like where the wisps start happening between each other. And maybe those can be a little bit wispy. But the idea is, all this space is just too empty. Maybe introduce something in there. And all that. Does that make sense? Any questions on this part?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'll do that.
And for this, I don't know if that third eye is supposed to be centered. If it is, it should be more right here. So pay attention to that.
Yeah. I'm trying to study the colors of this and how the vibration works.
Yeah.
Because when you turn to black and white, it's all, it's very cohesive. It's very nice.
Yep.
And I don't really know how to break it down. Like how do they choose what goes where and what color goes where?
Sure. I will make a black and white version. I think they actually do it in black and white first. Now here's going to be the tricky stuff, but take notes and pay attention. Let's go full RGB: red, green, blue, and an offshoot from that. So between red and blue, we have purple. We know that. Cool, as purple, and then from there you can get magentas, and between each color you can add like oranges, whatever. But there's a certain vibration at the most extreme. Let me just do that. At the most extreme version of these colors, they vibrate because they're such opposites. Okay, so they don't belong with each other on skin tone, or so it seems. Right. So if we just grab a bit of orange, put that there, and you could even take all of these and put an emphasis of like green over all of them. It kind of doesn't affect. If you take magenta and you put it over all of them, it does a sort of harmonizing. So when I look at something like this, I'm seeing reds, I'm seeing the blues, and I'm seeing the greens. So whenever you see something like this, it's RGB, and we can replicate it pretty quickly. So let's make a new layer, set it to color. Let's lay in some reds. Now I put an emphasis of magenta earlier on this for a reason, because I knew that this painting sort of does that. So over here, I'm gonna just lay in some reddish magenta over the whole thing. And to hell with actual skin tones. Let's tone that down. It's gonna be a little bit darker than that. And then you go to blue. This is set to color. And I think, not that this is the exact method, but you try to make it like look realistic first with like the warms. And then the blues. And you see that vibration happening there?
Yeah.
And then we're gonna add some greens, maybe in the shadows. All right, it's going to be more subtle than that. And so the vibration that's happening here with the RGB is now happening on this. Now, if we took that and pushed the saturation or the intensity of it, actually, let's go ahead and merge it down. Push the saturation all the way up, you can find those pure blues and magentas, and maybe not the greens unless you did it stronger, but you could probably do it here. Let's push that. Yeah, so very clearly green here, yellow there, red, blue, magenta. And you'd build it up until it actually looks like that. So yeah, the quick answer is RGB is the answer. Got it?
Yeah. So also regarding the values of this, how do you develop, is there a way to develop an eye